What if your dreams weren't random? What if those surreal, sometimes haunting, sometimes beautiful scenes that visit you at night were trying to tell you something? Carl Jung believed they are. In the quiet hours, when your conscious mind lets go, another voice begins to speak the voice of your unconscious. And it doesn't speak in logic or language, but in images, metaphors, symbols. Dreams are not meaningless static. They are coded letters from a deeper part of you. Not the surface level you, but the you that remembers what your conscious mind forgets. The one who knows where it hurts, where you're stuck, and where you might be going next. Jung didn't treat dreams as things to decode like puzzles, but as living expressions of a process, the process of becoming whole. In this video, we'll explore how Jung viewed dreams, not as distractions, but as essential guideposts, and how, when we learn to listen, they begin to reveal who we truly are beneath the masks. Let's step inside the dreamscape and see what your unconscious might be trying to tell you. Carl Jung saw the unconscious not as a dark pit of repressed memories or unwanted desires, but as a vast, living realm of meaning. Unlike Freud, who leaned heavily into interpretation based on personal history or taboo, Jung believed that dreams arose from something far older and deeper, a collective inheritance of symbols and archetypes. According to Jung, the unconscious speaks in a symbolic language because it's not linear like the conscious mind. It doesn't send you bullet points or instructions. It shows you a forest, a house you've never seen, a shadowy figure, a falling tooth, a lost child. Each symbol is a message, but not a direct one. It's layered, ambiguous, and often deeply personal. He called this the language of the soul. And the more we learn this language, the more we understand the hidden movements of our own psyche. Jung believed that every dream is an attempt at balance the unconscious, trying to compensate for what we're ignoring or avoiding in waking life. If your ego becomes too inflated, the dream might humble you. If you're too passive, the dream might provoke courage or confrontation. It's not random. It's you talking to you in a way only your inner self knows how. The question is, are you listening? This idea opens the door to a radically different view of ourselves, one where even nightmares can carry gifts, and every strange image might just be a thread leading back to a deeper truth. For Jung, dreams were more than symbolic whispers. They were mirrors, not in the sense of simple reflection, but as portals showing you aspects of yourself you may not yet recognize or fully accept. In every dream, he believed, the unconscious is trying to bring something into consciousness, something you've overlooked, denied, or never dared to look at directly. Sometimes this might appear as a person you don't recognize but feel drawn to. Sometimes it's a place haunting or heavenly that feels oddly familiar. Sometimes it's a version of you, twisted or heroic, frightening or luminous. These are not just random mental images. They are living fragments of the psyche messengers of inner dynamics. Jung introduced the idea of the self, the totality of who we are, including both conscious ego and unconscious potential. Dreams, then, are like postcards from the self, sent to remind you, you are more than you think you are. They reflect not only wounds or conflicts, but also growth, guidance, and integration. A dream might place you in a burning house, a symbol of inner chaos or transformation, or in a forest representing the unknown, the wildness of the soul. Or maybe you're searching for something or someone, and the entire dream is that journey. All of these are metaphors for your real inner life. Jung's invitation is this: don't dismiss your dreams. Don't reduce them to nonsense or pop culture trivia. Instead, sit with them. Ask, what part of me is being shown here? Even recurring dreams or nightmares, which many people fear, are simply the unconscious turning up the volume, saying, this matters. Look again. To Jung, honoring our dreams is an act of self-respect. It's the beginning of healing and of becoming whole. Jung believed that one of the most powerful forces shaping our dreams is the presence of archetypes, universal patterns of thought, emotion, and behavior that exist deep within the collective unconscious. These are not learned from culture or family. They are inherited forms, ancient and shared across all of humanity, and they appear in dreams as characters, symbols, or forces with a strange, timeless familiarity. Have you ever dreamt of a wise old figure guiding you through chaos? That may have been the wise old man archetype, or a powerful, mysterious woman drawing you into the unknown. That's the anima, the feminine aspect of the unconscious. A threatening shadow that chases you? That could be your shadow self, the part of you you've rejected, feared, or hidden. In dreams, archetypes don't wear name tags. They wear costumes of people you've never met, places you've never been, or creatures that don't exist. But you feel them. They leave emotional imprints that linger after waking. They're larger than personal memory. They speak to something ancient in you. What's remarkable is that people across cultures, times, and languages report seeing similar dream figures: heroes, mothers, tricksters, monsters, divine children. These are the shapes through which the unconscious teaches, warns, inspires, or guides. Jung didn't say we must believe in archetypes the way one believes in facts. Instead, we should recognize them as recurring energies alive inside us, surfacing in moments of transformation, crisis, or growth. By understanding the archetypes in our dreams, we begin to understand what forces are stirring within us. Is the warrior waking up? Is the shadow knocking? Is the child asking to be seen? Each archetype offers not just information, but a potential integration, a part of the self waiting to return. Among all the archetypes that emerge in dreams, none is more misunderstood or more necessary than the shadow. Jung described the shadow as the hidden side of our personality, the parts we reject, repress, or deem unworthy. It's not always evil, but it is always uncomfortable. And in dreams, the shadow often arrives uninvited, sometimes frightening, sometimes subtle, but always meaningful. You might dream of someone threatening you, following you, confronting you, or you may act in the dream in a way you never would in waking life: cruel, selfish, destructive. These are shadow dreams. They are not proof that you are bad or broken. They are messages from the unconscious, showing you the parts of yourself that you have cast away and yet still live within you. Jung believed that ignoring the shadow doesn't make it disappear. It just makes it more dangerous. But confronting it in dreams, with curiosity and courage, begins the process of integration. And integration is not about becoming perfect. It's about becoming whole. The shadow might also appear as temptation, a seduction into old habits, or a return to pain you thought was healed. It might mirror your anger, your envy, your fear. But every shadow dream carries a key. It shows you where you're not looking. And sometimes, that's exactly what we need. In this way, the dream becomes not a battlefield, but a mirror. And the shadow, rather than being an enemy, becomes a teacher, harsh, perhaps, but honest. It's your unconscious saying, you cannot evolve without acknowledging what you've exiled. To meet the shadow in dreams is to begin the long, transformative journey of self-acceptance, one where healing doesn't come from light alone, but from facing the dark and discovering that it, too, is part of your truth. For Jung, dreams weren't just psychological puzzles to decode, they were healing tools. In fact, he saw them as a natural form of self-therapy. While the conscious mind might avoid pain, distract itself, or cling to logic, the unconscious dives straight into what matters and brings it to the surface in dream form. Night after night, our psyche tries to balance, restore, and guide us through the process of inner alignment. Jung often said, "The dream is a little hidden door in the innermost and most secret recesses of the soul. Through that door, healing can begin." Dreams offer insights we might not dare admit in the daylight. A person reappears, not for nostalgia, but because there's unresolved emotion. A childhood home returns, because something from that time is asking to be acknowledged. Even surreal or strange dreams can carry medicine if we approach them with humility and attention. Jung encouraged people to write down their dreams, revisit them, and even dialogue with their symbols. What would the storm in your dream say if it could speak? What does the child hiding in the hallway want you to see? This practice is called active imagination, engaging with the images that come up in dreams, giving them voice and allowing them to unfold. It's a way of working with the unconscious, not against it. And healing happens not in one grand breakthrough, but in quiet moments of recognition, a pattern noticed, a fear named, a truth accepted. The dream becomes a conversation, and over time, it builds trust between your conscious mind and the deeper intelligence within. Dream work, then, is not a mystical art for the few. It's available to anyone willing to listen. And in listening, we offer ourselves one of the most powerful gifts, inner understanding. Because the more we understand our dreams, the more we understand ourselves. And that understanding, that wholeness, is where real healing begins. In the end, Jung's teachings on dreams weren't just about interpretation. They were about relationship. A relationship between you and your unconscious. Not one where you control, dominate, or analyze to death, but one where you listen, with respect, with patience, with humility. The unconscious is not a machine. It's not a riddle with a single answer. It's a living part of you, speaking in images, symbols, emotions, and metaphors. And dreams are its language. When you begin to honor that language, you step into a deeper connection with yourself. Not just the version of you show the world, but the vast, mysterious self that lies beneath the surface. Jung taught that real transformation happens not by suppressing the unconscious, but by inviting it into the conversation. And dreams are how it knocks at your door. Sometimes, that knock is gentle, a fleeting image, a strange encounter. Other times, it's loud and nightmare that shakes you, a vision that won't leave. Whatever form it takes, the message is the same. There is more to you than you realize, and it's time to look within. So keep a journal. Sit with your dreams. Don't rush to explain them, feel them. What are they stirring in you? What are they asking you to face or to reclaim? Because every dream, in its own way, is a message from the deepest part of you. And when you listen, truly listen, you begin to walk the path Jung called individuation, the lifelong journey of becoming who you truly are. Not perfect, not fixed, but whole.